and welcome to Legal Affairs. My name is Diamond Liddy, and I'm the public defender of the 19th Judicial Circuit. We are going to be talking about something that is integral to our entire Treasure Coast and community, that helps pretty much everybody in the community one way or the other, even if they don't use you, right?
That's right.
Okay, and welcome Brian Bauer. How are you, Brian?
I'm great, thank you, Diamond. It's great to be here.
And
Good morning.
what is your title?
I am actually a president CEO for CareerSource Research Coast, which is a local workforce development board, part of the CareerSource Florida network, and my board actually covers all of the Treasure Coast counties, Indian River, St. Lucie, and Martin County.
Okay, not Okeechobee though.
Not Okeechobee, not anymore. We used to have Okeechobee, and then they decided to leave us.
Okay. So we were talking before the show a little bit about the nuances of it, but so everyone can understand, CareerSource, define it. What exactly does it do?
So I'll give you what our mission is, real simple.
Yeah.
We provide opportunities to improve lives, plain and simple.
Okay.
Now that can mean many, many things, right?
Right,
That could be
well,
many, many things to anybody, many different people. So we are a federally funded organization, and the grant funding that we receive fall under three categories: Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, the TANF funding, which is part of DCF, SNAP, which is food stamps.
Right.
I'm going to throw out some acronyms here. Forgive me.
Yeah,
I'll try to do that. Yeah, I'll define them.
Everybody doesn't.
You're right. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which is basically used to be called food stamps.
Okay.
And then our Wagner-Pizer program, which is our core services for individuals that are looking to upskill themselves, job readiness, resume writing. We provide workshops. We provide tools for them to go look for jobs through our state system, which is Employ Florida. So we touch many, many individuals in many different ways. We also touch employers in our communities, right?
Okay.
From the employer aspect, we're helping the employers find the talent that they need.
Right.
They might not always find that perfect person, but we
Right.
can help shape them through training opportunities, such and so forth, that are offered through us in our toolbox that can help that individual become a successful employee for our employers in our communities.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you're not just a place to get a job. You're much more than that,
Yes.
and you help employers too,
Yes.
to find people, which
Yes.
I don't know about what you're hearing, but in my neck of the woods, I mean, people that no one can find people to work anymore.
Well, I brought my trusty unemployment report for you to
talk
talk
to
about.
us. Talk to us.
So right now we're actually Florida is 2.7. This is as of August 23. Florida's 2.7 with an unemployment rate, and our three counties are 3.7. So we're a little higher than the state average, and we're seeing a little bit of an uptick in Indian River County and St. Lucie County.
Of unemployment.
Yeah, unemployment rates going higher.
Wow.
So we're having a few more individuals that are starting to file unemployment or looking for work.
Wow.
One important thing to talk about here is when I talk about percentages and we talk about unemployment rates, it's important to note that even though the unemployment rate is low, one other factor that ties into this very heavily is the actual total workforce.
Right.
So we sometimes get tied up in the percentage of, well, we have great unemployment or unemployment's low.
Yeah,
but the workforce is low. The
Right.
workforce total is low comparative to other parts of the state, right?
Right.
So as we saw through, I hate to use the word COVID, but once COVID
The C
hit,
word.
right? Yeah. So our workforce shrunk,
Right.
and we're slowly getting back to levels of where we were pre-COVID.
Okay.
So, but once your workforce shrinks, until we get that workforce back to where you have the actual talent that's looking for work,
Right.
that's why your employers are struggling to find people, number one. Because people left, people are no longer in the workforce. They made a decision to say one family spouse can handle it,
Right.
one can work from home. So those are the many things that we found that transpired over that time frame after COVID left us.
Okay, but you're saying that it is creeping back up,
Yeah.
the pool.
Yeah,
if you
we're
will.
actually
Okay.
back to numbers before COVID.
Really?
So, but it took us, here we're at 2023.
Right.
So it took us about a year and a half, 2 years to get back to where we were.
Right. Well, let's back up a little bit,
Sure.
because this is so interesting. Tell us about you for a second.
Well, I'm not a true Floridian, but I've been here long enough to think that I should be a true Floridian, right? I'm from Illinois. I came down here after college I went to Bradley University, finance degree. Also a very avid golfer. So golf brought me down here.
Right.
And I realized I wasn't good enough to stay in the golf industry, and I had to get a real job.
Yeah, that's all of us, right?
Right. But I did, I did follow my dream somewhat,
Right.
so that's good. So fortunately, I had education to fall back on. But I really found my niche in information technology and IT. So that's kind of where I got my start with where we're at now. I was actually hired in 2002 for CareerSource as an IT technician, and I just worked my way up through IT.
No kidding.
Yeah, became the
So
vice president and now the president CEO since 2017.
Wow, so you've been there like 21 years just... No, that's great.
Yeah, about 23, about 22 years will be in October.
Wow.
That'll be my anniversary in a couple of weeks.
No, that's terrific.
So.
And so how do you see CareerSource having changed, morphed, grown? Is it still the same? It's obviously the same idea, or
Yeah.
is it not? 20 as it was 20 years ago, or
I think
has it changed?
there is a shift. There has been a shift to that. We also like to think that in our arena, we have we're cyclical.
Right.
We see things that happened 15, 20 years ago, but that's like a recession. Anything's like
Right,
that. Everything's
right,
kind of like
right.
that in the economy. So we have seen that. And for us, we're kind of inversely related to employment. So when unemployment is low, there's not a lot of people that are looking for training, right? They're all looking
Right.
for jobs or they're
Right,
already working.
right.
So we have to shift our thought process and our strategic plan to help our businesses make sure that they're getting that skilled and qualified talent. When the unemployment is high is when we get a little bit more busier
Right, right.
with providing training assistance and sending individuals to our wonderful universities and state colleges and institutions here on the Treasure Coast like IRSC and Kaiser
Right,
University,
right.
where we help those individuals that they might have lost their job as a result of layoff or recession, and
Right.
they want to get into a different career path. That's what we do. We're offering career path changes to individuals to make sure that they're getting into a focused sector that we know in our area has jobs, will always have jobs, have careers and career pathways.
Gotcha.
That's why our strategic plan has always kind of been a partnership with our economic development partners, our education partners, of course our businesses, our associations such as Treasure Coast Manufacturing Association,
right.
the Treasure Coast Builders Association. So all of those stakeholders have a part and a say in what we're looking to do as far as building that talent pipeline, because we all realized a long time ago that our product is our employees, right? Our
Right,
pipeline
right,
for our
right.
employers. We want to bring good employers here, which our economic development partners have done. Now we got to make sure that we have that product for them, which is the employees in the pipeline.
Well, who came up with this idea? I mean, the legislature formed this 20-something years ago?
Oh, we've
or-
been around since 1986.
Oh, wow.
But in different facets. So we were
Okay.
a private industry council back, this is before my time.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm-
Jobs and education partnerships, which all fell under Department of Labor.
Okay.
Then the Workforce Innovation Act was in 1998. That's about when
Okay.
I came on board.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay.
And then WIOA, which is Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So these are all federal projects. This is all done at the federal level and then set out amongst all of the states. So there are workforce boards throughout all 50 states.
But this started, the idea of it was really on the federal
Yes.
level, and then it's trickled down
Yes.
to, okay.
Right. And what the federal government says is we don't necessarily know what's best for a local community. And that's what
Yeah.
WIOA or Workforce
Right.
Innovation Opportunity Act
Right.
says, that the local county commissions, the people that are boots on the ground, they understand what their communities need.
And that's why we're
gonna-
empowering you to do right.
Exactly. We're going to
Right.
create these boards for you. We're going to do this for you so that you have the tools that you need to help build a pipeline to service your employers and your communities.
Okay. So now are organizations such as yours in all 50 states?
Yes.
Or, oh, okay.
They might not be called CareerSource. They might be.
I got you.
Normally, you'll find them or hear them as workforce WIBs, workforce investment boards.
Okay.
So some
Okay.
states might be configured as one board throughout the entire
Okay.
state. Some might be configured like us, which are 21 boards throughout the state. There might be some that are a little bit of mix that might be state and local driven. It's all depending upon what the state and the governors of those states they want to see their state done.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's let's back up. And I know you've got some cool things that are going on
Yes.
that you want to talk about, but let's back up for a moment, just the basics. I lost my job as a chef, and I don't know what to do. I need to be retrained. You know, I need help finding a job, whatever that retraining job now is. And do I walk in your doors? Do I call you? Do I go on a website? How do I
You
get
can
your
do
help?
all of the above.
Okay.
You can give us a call. You can go on our website. We have online chat tools available to get you started, or you can walk into one of our 3 career centers.
Okay.
I have a career center in each county.
Okay. And the one here is right 5 minutes from here, which is in St. Lucie West. Well,
Yeah, it used to be. We had to move. We're actually in Fort Pierce now, in Garden City Elementary now.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's where
Okay.
our St. Lucie County Center is.
Okay. So they say, look, I need help, and what do you offer?
My staff will, you know, they'll greet them and they'll ask those questions you're asking of me,
Right.
and they'll say, I lost my job, and they'll start to do an assessment process on the individual.
Okay.
To see where their skills are. They might say, you know, I was a chef, but I don't know if I want to continue to be a chef.
Right.
I might want to go to something that I think is a more secure career pathway for me.
Right.
Okay, well, here's some opportunities for you. Here's some things that are in the area that can get you on that path. Is that something of interest to you? Again, it's customer choice. Finally, we're not going to tell you have to do this.
Yeah.
It's customer choice.
Do you kind of assess the individual and say, you know, if you really don't know, you know, we've done this assessment. We think you would be good at retail or whatever.
We have those tools. Yes, we do. We have those tools. We kind of let the individual figure it out themselves, and then show them, based on your results of these assessments, your skills and aptitude fit this industry sector.
What do you
Did you
think?
know that?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
might not even know that they did, right? So then they're saying, oh, well, what's in that industry sector? So then we'll start to show them the labor market information, the jobs that are available in that area, and then tie that to training that's available in the area that we might be able to help pay for.
Okay.
So if individuals come in, like you said, somebody lost their job, they automatically, or 99% of the time, will qualify for my funding. So I'll be able to assist them on their career pathway training through either IRSC, Kaiser, or any of the other training
that's what
partners.
I was going to say. Your folks don't actually do the training.
No.
You will just hook them up with training options.
We're kind of like that career coach, right? That career planner, that career coach.
Right.
So you're going to get assigned a career planner, a life coach. Exact same thing. It's the same thing.
I got you.
You're going to get assigned an individual, and they're going to be with you along your journey of your training, your education, all the way up to a year after they're done.
Okay.
We follow up with them.
Now let's back up a minute again. First of all, the initial assessment, meeting with your people, getting some guidance. How much does that cost?
Nothing.
Okay.
Zero. Everything to them is zero.
No matter, do you have to fill out a financial affidavit to get your help?
We will do an assessment on your financial background, right? But like I said, if you come in and you've lost your job, 99% of the time you're a dislocated worker.
Right.
You qualify.
So you qualify. Okay. And as far as the training, you would do a financial assessment, but most of the time, if someone needs to be retrained, your organization will pay for it.
Yeah, depending upon the tier level. We have 2 tier levels based on the wage of the position or the industry or the sector they're going into. We can pay, it's $5,000 for tier 1 or $10,000 for tier 2.
Wow.
So I can pay up to $10,000 in training.
Now, what if
the training has to be on our eligible training provider list.
Okay.
So you have to, there are steps. I can't just send you to any old training.
Right.
We've got to make sure that's why we do what we do, so that the trainings that are offered by our institutions and our partners in education align with what our businesses need, align with the sectors of our focus that are in our strategic plan. So.
And the training could be a year long, or?
We try to do short-term training.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what I was
we try to focus on short-term.
So you're not just enrolling them at IRSC to get a degree necessarily.
Correct.
It's usually more okay.
Right. They can go for a degree, but we're not going to be able. We're not going to be able to take them along that journey. We might be able to catch them.
Right. Okay.
On the back end, that's what we do with our partners, like at the universities, where we know that tuition is a little bit hire, so we'll
Right.
catch them on the back end as they get ready. Because it's not always about the tuition side of it, it's the supportive services. You have a single mom that's been going to school for a year and a half.
Right.
And those supportive services are where we can also help if they qualify for our money. So we can help with transportation, we can help with childcare, we can help with
Wow.
uniforms, tools, books, stuff like that. So those things just to get them over the hump so that they keep themselves going toward the finish line, right?
They continue
Because once they get to
success.
they
Yeah.
get to the finish line, they'll see the success because they're going to get a great career job, right?
So, and I've come to you, we've realized I really fit for mechanical, you know, whatever, and I get trained, three months later I'm trained. I mean, you're not kicking me to the curb then, you're holding my hand, so to speak.
Yes.
Through the process to get,
Yes.
now I'm trained to be, you know, whatever.
We can call you, you've received your OSHA and you've received your, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Certified Production Technician
Right.
certification, right?
Okay.
So you have a nationally recognized credential now that you have value to employers in our area, right? So now my other team will come in, my business services team will come in, they'll work with your career planners and they'll start that phase of trying to get you into our employers and get you into work.
And
So we
get
don't just leave you, we
high
don't
and
leave you
dry.
just hanging
Yeah.
once you're done with your training. No.
Gotcha.
Because we have performance metrics, right?
Right.
So once you come in our door and we start doing intensive service with you,
Yeah.
you count towards us or you count against us. So we want to make sure that you're successful, that you complete, you get a credential, and you ultimately obtain skilled employment
Gotcha.
at a decent wage.
Right. Now, how many people work for you, Brian?
I have 42 staff directly that work
Wow.
for 3 counties. I also have, I believe it's 8 state staff through the Florida Commerce,
Oh.
which I jointly manage. They're state employees, but they work locally for me.
Okay.
And they mostly cover the programs for our veterans. We also serve veterans.
Okay.
And they serve veterans with disabilities.
Okay.
So I have an individual that is a career planner that would work specifically with a veteran that has
Okay.
a recognized disability that's, you know, approved by the federal dollars and
Okay.
through that guidelines.
Okay.
I also have folks that work on the business side that talk to employers, would you hire veterans? So they're specifically working that veteran population because we
Gotcha.
offer priority of service to our veterens.
Wow. Okay.
So they're always going to get first in line. They'll get first up in line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know. Yeah. I don't want to run out of time. You wanted to talk about a couple things, some
Sure.
innovations. So talk to us.
So for example, one of the projects you have with Life Builders,
Right.
you know that those are one of our targeted populations. Those that are coming out of our institutions, out of the prison system or the jail system, they need a job. They need to get back into civilian life, and those are individuals that we can help serve. So
Right.
we're looking at projects to help partner with you all to make sure that we can help transition those individuals. Wouldn't it be great as they're getting ready to exit the system that they come out with a credential that's recognized and they can go right to work
Right.
instead of kind of being a little bit lost, right?
Well, yeah.
So
I
we're
mean,
going to really work hard with the Public Defender's Office and our partners to
Right.
make sure that we get some funding to
Right.
do that for you. We also have an initiative that it's the First Lady's initiative. It's called Hope Florida. I don't know if you've heard of that project yet. It's a partnership with DCF and the Career Source Florida Network. So DCF, as I mentioned earlier, Department of Children and Families, they serve a lot of individuals. They have
Right.
folks that are in cash assistance, which is TANF, which is one of the areas that we serve.
Right.
The SNAP, the supplemental nutrition. We only serve a small population of that group. There are so many more that are in there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of individuals that are in Department of Children and Families Bank. So what they're trying to do is find those individuals that are interested in our program, getting them self-sufficient, getting them ready for career, that next level of a job
Right.
opportunity to get them off of public assistance, right? So this is
Yeah,
kind of
what a
what
great-
this, that
yeah.
would be great, right? So that's kind of what this project is about. It's us taking those individuals that have been referred to us by DCF and start them on their career
Oh,
path.
so the referral comes from DCF.
Yes, the
and
referral-
it's women.
It's anybody
okay.
anybody that has gone through and been screened by the DCF
Oh, I got you.
folks that has been referred to a career source board.
Okay.
One of us, and we'll work them for the job side. And also, we're trying to work with our employers in our community to say, would you be a Hope Florida employer? Would you be willing to take somebody
Okay.
that comes from the Department of Children and Families in this program and employ them? So we're doing both sides of the equation.
So could it be someone involved in DCF as a teenager? Or?
Sure.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be the parent. It could
No,
be
it
the
could be-
child that was abused or neglected, or
Right. Well, as long as they want to go to work, right?
Right. No, I got it.
Work
I
related,
got it.
of
Okay.
course. Of
And
course.
I didn't ask you this. You serve people ages, I mean, if you have a 15-year-old that wants a job, do you help
16
them?
to 25.
16 to 20, okay,
That's our WI, our Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act youth program.
okay,
And we'll serve in-school youth and out-of-school youth.
okay.
So our focus is out-of-school youth, but we can serve both. As
Okay.
long as they meet our eligibility requirements under our funding, we
Right.
can help them.
Wow.
And we have
Okay.
a provider that helps us with that, and that's Eckert Connects. They help us with our youth program. So and their Youth Connections program. So that's very key and influential in our area with regards to our
no,
youth.
absolutely.
And we're, I sit on the roundtable of St. Lucie, so we're
Right.
tied in with our partners, our Early Learning Coalition. So we're working not just adults, we're working with our youth, because we know that youth are the future.
Yeah.
Youth are the pipeline. They're the
Yeah.
talent pipeline, and we need to build the pipeline, right? So I can serve a normal adult. I can serve a dislocated worker that I mentioned, somebody that lost their job, no fault of their own.
Right.
I can serve a youth. We serve the welfare, out of the TANF program, out
Right.
of the SNAF program from DCF side. So there's many, many avenues
Yeah.
of populations that come through: veterans,
Veterans, yeah.
disabled. I forgot to mention we work very well with our vocational rehabilitation partners.
Okay,
our
whether
blind
they're
service-
veterans or not.
Whether they're
Okay.
veterans or not. So
Okay.
anybody with a disability we'll serve. We'll help them as best we can.
Boy.
Because they need careers, they need jobs too, right?
Yeah,
So,
and that's
so-
a difficult group,
right.
too.
So we serve those with most significant barriers to employment, basically.
Right. Okay, go ahead on your list.
So the Hope Florida, and just to put a cap on that one, there is special funding for that. So I have additional funding outside of my normal funding
Okay.
that can help with training
Wow.
in this. So we're hoping that this really kicks off and we start seeing some referrals come in so that we can get to our employers in our area and say, hey, here's another avenue
Yeah.
or another pipeline. Right?
Well, and the collaboration is so important. I mean, you can't be in a vacuum, just, a standalone, I'll help you get a job kind of,
And then, yeah.
Yeah, you get, who, and the beauty of the collaboration, let me back up, is that you know the people that you're serving, that you're helping, really want it and want to be successful. I mean, there's always those
Yes.
that won't be successful.
You'll have
and,
failures,
yeah.
but
But you're really targeting a group that you're not wasting your time on.
Right. Well, if you
know.
assess them right and you put them on the right path and you get
Right.
them excited and you get them interested, what happens? They're not beat down again.
Right.
They're not upset. They're not
They're
frustrated.
not going to break
Right.
the law. They're not
Right. They're looking at positive things. They're
Right.
positive reinforcement versus the negative reinforcement. So,
Right.
I really enjoy what I'm doing, and you find that people that love what they do, and that reflects on everything they do, right?
Well, and then, I was thinking of this, like the collaboration with Department of Children and Families, DCF, there are some times children are taken away from their parents because of many circumstances, but the only way they're going to be reunited is if they can financially
Help.
support them,
Yep.
and the children.
Yeah.
So you're there to assist in the unification of a family, which so many times is such a difficult uphill battle for the parents who made a mistake, obviously, or wouldn't
Yeah.
have been in the system, but need some help.
And that's the nice thing too about you talk about the collaboration. There might be an individual where I can't help, my funding won't allow me to help.
Right.
But we have wonderful partners in our communities that then we can say, all right, I can't help this one, but can
Yeah,
you?
let me call. Yeah.
So
yeah.
we have that partnership and that collaboration to say, all right, I can't be the end all be all, but I can be a funnel, or I can be that
Right.
that starting walkway.
referral, yeah.
Referral to somebody else, right? So that's the important, and hopefully that's vice versa.
Oh, always.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
that, oh my gosh, I didn't realize you probably qualify for free training,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So hopefully that works out. And I think we do a very good job here on the Treasure Coast with our collaboration and our partners.
Oh, don't get me started, because every show I end up saying, nowhere in the state is there collaboration like there is in the 19th Circuit. But
It's true.
But it's true.
It's true. It is very true. It's from economic development to education to workforce to what you all do, and the Department of Children and Families, the partnerships that we have here are just amazing. And a lot of that is our county commissioners and our city officials.
Right.
If they collaborate, everybody else,
Right.
it makes it easy. So.
Right. And we're small enough
Yeah.
that we can build those relationships
Right.
over, And, the thing is, we've been blessed to have a lot of people such as you, who have been in positions for so many years. Yeah. And, that longevity really not only makes you better at what you do, but builds the relationships with everyone around.
It's foundational.
Yeah.
It's that foundation is built, and hopefully I can just leave a little bit when it's my time to say I've had it. Well, it's not anytime
yet.
soon. No, it's not anytime soon. But
well,
a few more gray hairs, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, we've got about 2 more minutes.
Okay. So I did want to talk about also too. I want to let the folks watching know that we currently sponsor 7 state of Florida registered apprenticeship programs.
Really?
So apprenticeship is another big thing that we've been working on the last 4 years. 4 to 5 years.
Apprenticeship for what?
So our 7 apprenticeships, that we have an industrial manufacturing technician, so that's your manufacturing sector. We have a distribution and logistics technician apprenticeship, so that's in your distribution and all these warehouses that are coming in these distribution hubs, right?
I want to see some action now. I want to see some people.
Marine services technician, as you know, we have water here, we have director boats, so we have got a marine service technician. And then we have 3 in the IT arena. So IT is always hot.
Wow.
IT is very good.
Okay.
So we have a tech support, we have a network support specialist, and then cybersecurity support technician. And then lastly, this one's exclusive to our A1 trust partner employer out there, but we have a trust design technician that's specifically toward them, but as a registered apprenticeship by the state of Florida. So apprenticeship is really, to me, the kind of the next evolution of work.
Yeah.
It's earn while you learn. It's helping that employer find an individual or has an individual and wants to get them to the next level and take that skill set that's starting to leave them as they're aging out, the population's aging out. Before they age out, they're getting that training in while they're there. It's not them sitting in a classroom all the time and then going to work and having to kind of do it all. It's earning while you're learning, right?
Wow.
So that's the focus of what we try to do here at Apprenticeship. So hopefully we could get more employers on board, or at least get them aware of what the opportunities there are that are available to an apprenticeship.
Wow. Oh, that's
That's
great.
a good one. Yeah. So I'm excited about that one. And then lastly, I wanted to mention that something that we might be able to tie in with your program, as well as the incarcerated that are coming out back into our civilian life, and that's called the Florida Workforce Alliance Program, or the FALWA is what we call it. It was a collaboration. The governor gave us, CareerSource Brevard and CareerSource Flagler Volusia, $3 million each over a 2-year period to assist in the following 3 sectors. That's aerospace, advanced manufacturing with a focus on aviation, and IT cybersecurity. So we have dollars to start training individuals in those sectors, and that might be something that we can say, hey, we could get an individual in and start them in manufacturing, right? And start them working on airplanes and manufacturing repair of airplanes. So something we want to talk about offline later on.
Okay.
All right.
No, thank you. This is wonderful. Thanks for all you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
No, this is wonderful. Thank you.
All right, it's awesome.